Let your conscience be your guide to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is let your conscience be your guide. Now, I always think of Jiminy Cricket. I think I've talked about this idiom before, but it comes up because we're speaking about consciousness and levels of consciousness in this year's Get Your Goals annual challenge. So I'm trying to tie this year, like I did toward sometime last year, I made a decision that I was going to, what I was talking about in the annual challenge, I was going to make that the topic that I selected my idioms from in order to talk about an idiom in Supersize Your Business. And it's easier for me. It serves me pretty well, actually. Plus, it reinforces the learning and reminds me, how do I tie this into growing and building and supersizing my business and help others to do the same? So let your conscience be the guide. Jiminy Cricket used it and said it in Pinocchio, very famous for that. And Marvin Gaye's song 1961 really sealed the deal and made it ever more popular. So often we hear people say, well, if you don't know what to do, let your conscience be your guide. And they say that because it means that we listen to that inner voice, that inner consciousness that tells us what is right or wrong. Actually, it's what is right or wrong for us. And if we do that, if we pay attention to how things make us feel and what we think about it and what on a conscious level, comparing it to our values and our principles and our purpose and what it is that we want in life, we'll make the right decision. Somebody posted yesterday, and I don't usually talk about social media and other people's posts, but I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was a couple of days ago, but it obviously stuck with me. Something about if it feels good in your business, then it's probably not right because business doesn't feel good. And I could not pass that by and not comment and say, I absolutely don't believe this, depending on how you define feel good. If feel good means do the right thing, which is let your conscience be the guide, then I disagree with that adamantly, because I think it's imperative that we do what's right for us, for our business, and for the world at large to make the world a better place. Otherwise, why are we growing and building and supersizing a business, right? If we're doing something for altruistic reasons to make the world a better place, we're going to be a lot better off than so is the world than if we're just doing things to make money. So there's different ways that we can let our conscience be our guide when we're growing and building and supersizing our business. So I'm going to share a handful plus of those. But one of the things we need to do first, we need to deepen our understanding of the facts of ourself, what our conscious and core values are, and what it is that we're trying to create in the world. We need to seek the wisdom within as well as wisdom from other people. We need to identify what are the pressure points, what are the things that happen that cause me stress or pressure with respect to making decisions and choices. And am I always going back to letting my conscious and my core values be the guide and my principles? And that's why I think they're so powerful, is because not just for me as I'm growing my business, but for all the people that are helping me grow my business, we have a common understanding of what we use to guide us in our decision making and our purpose. That's why I think goals are so important. I'm doing a whole year's challenge on it, and I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. And try not to. So what are some ways to let your conscience be the guide as you're growing and building and supersizing your business? Well, first off, establish a higher purpose. What the heck is the purpose and the reason that you've got this business in the first place that you're trying to grow and supersize? You know, we talk a lot about the why you're doing what you're doing and why you're involved in this business at all and why you're building a business. Adopt a value-based model, meaning your intention is to add value and to the world and make the world a better place. Money is an exchange of value. So the more value you put into the world and into your business, the more money and the more value you'll get back. Not necessarily in the form of money, right? Practice conscious leadership. And that means being the example, treating people the way you want to be treated, walking your walk and talking your talk, not just talking, but actually doing what you say you're going to do, things like that. Invest in your team and development of other people. Social responsibility comes into play here. What is your conscience tell you with respect to social responsibility? What does your conscience tell you next with respect to environmental responsibility? Are you making decisions based on what's in alignment with your core values and your conscience? And finally, the culture that we create in our businesses is so important, and we definitely want to let our conscience be the guide when it comes to that. So I'd love to know your experience with this particular idiom. Share in the comments below. And otherwise, go out and have an awesome day. I'm planning on doing the same, and I'll be with you tomorrow.